Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magic Bricks Hangout series. Our endeavor is to trigger a buy and bring back consumer confidence in the real estate market. Today, we have Mr. Raghuvinder Singh Pathania, Vice President, Divyasree Developers, discussing about is investing in luxury projects in Bangalore a wise decision. Raghuvinder possesses over 14 years of experience in sales, marketing, and customer relations in real estate. Over these years, he has successfully developed and implemented sales and marketing strategies to support business and financial objectives of various organizations. He has hands-on experience in national and international markets, providing him a leverage in creating experiential experiences which sets the brand apart from the rest of the real estate brands. In his various roles as a custodian of the brand and business, he has identified opportunities, reversed negative sales trends, increased business efficiency, and strengthened revenue results. I also welcome Neha Nagpal. She's a senior journalist working with Magic Bricks. Without any further delay, I'll hand over the session to Neha.
Thank you, Pushpa. I welcome Mr. Pathania on board. Mr. Pathania, to open the session, I would like to take an opening remarks from you in terms of how is Bangalore real estate market is currently going through which kind of trend, especially when we talk about luxury. So your thoughts on that, sir?
Thank you so much for this session, Neha. So, well, I've seen this Bangalore market for last 12 to 13 years. I've personally worked in this market, and I've concluded that real estate is a very micro market driven thing. So every micro market has different dynamics. So in Bangalore, there are micro markets which have done exceptionally well, which has given a reasonable ROI of 8 to 10%. There have been moderate ROIs of 6 to 7%. There have been sluggish ROIs of 4 to 5%. But what I personally feel is the market in Bangalore has been pretty stable as compared to other metros. It's not as speculative as Gurgaon. It's not as expensive as Mumbai. You can still buy a reasonable property at 1 CR within 8 to 10 kilometer radius of the CBD in Bangalore, which I don't think so is possible in any other city at this point of time. I'm just talking about metros.
Right.
So I think the real estate market is it is decent in Bangalore. It's stable, and I think it's a good time to invest.
Okay, so when you talk about that, it has always been stable. What kind of people, the profile of people are buying? Would you like to throw some light on that as well, sir?
Yeah, so it was primarily a IT-driven market for many years, but now given the fact that new government has come up, FDIs have opened up, infrastructure projects have come up there, the e-commerce have opened up, there are a lot of startup companies that have, I think Bangalore is the place where all these companies are blooming. So I think I personally feel 60% of the traction still comes from IT. If you look at the absorption in Bangalore every year, we are looking at around 10 to 12 million square feet of IT space. That probably translates to 100 to 150,000 IT employees every year. So that still continues to be a very strong target group of all the real estate developers in Bangalore.
Right.
Apart from that, we have doctors, we have entrepreneurs, we've, as I said, these e-commerce guys. So the marketing is opening up for various categories, but by far I think it's IT driven.
So when you talk about that 60% of the market share is actually because of the IT absorption here. So what is the budget you are talking about here? What kind of property they are looking at?
See, budget is a very subjective thing, Neha. There are people who just, if you look at an IT engineer who started his career, he'd probably be making around 70,000-80,000 rupees a month, or maybe less than that. So he would probably look at a 50 to 60 lakh property, dual income, and then eventually when you grow in the ladder, the budget goes up. So for somebody who's living on Hennur Main Road, North Bangalore, CBD is a luxury area for him. Somebody who's living in CBD, maybe Kingfisher Tower is luxury for him. So everybody has a different definition of luxury. So budget is a very generic thing, but I think you can still pick up a reasonable property in Bangalore for 60 to 70 lakhs, which is not luxury, which will be a mid-segment kind of a property, of course, with all the hygiene amenities which we talk about nowadays. And then it goes up to 1, 2, 3, 10 crores, 15 crores. Then there is no end to it.
Let's talk something about luxury market in Bangalore, Mr. Pathania. When we talk about luxury in Bangalore, what does it really mean? Since you have already said that for some luxury means the location, for some luxury means the amenities. So, but when we talk about the budget, what is luxury in Bangalore?
So my personal opinion is luxury is location. So, when we are talking about luxury, I mean, you can't look at a project which is 30 to 40 kilometers away from the city. That has to be something which is within the city limits, so probably within a radius of 6 to 8 kilometers. And then there are other factors that are attached to that purchase or attached to the definition of luxury. But I think anything which is more than 3,000 square feet, which has a decent set of amenities, which is closer to the CBD area, and which is maybe 2 to 2.5 CR plus, I would comfortably define that as a luxury project in Bangalore.
Okay. Let's take up the live query, sir. We are getting a lot of live queries here. Let me take up my first live query. It's Rahul Arora. He is from Bangalore city.
Mm-hmm.
He is asking, I have three queries for this particular session. First is, for a budget of rupees 3 crore, what is better option for an investment point of view? Buy a ready to move in or an under construction property?
Mm-hmm. Well, to answer this question, if you're distinguishing a ready to move in and under construction property, I mean, there would be a price variation of at least 10 to 15% between these two properties. So if you're ready to shell out that extra 10 to 15%, I would highly recommend go for a property which is nearing completion, which is 6 to 8 months away from possession. So you get enough time to arrange for your finances, you get enough time to hire an interior designer who could do the house for you, and you could also hire an associate who could rent it out for you, or if you want to move in, that within 6 months that house is ready. So believe me, that will get you a lot of peace of mind. So I would highly recommend look at something which is nearing completion within that kind of a budget.
Okay. His second query says that for this budget, what is a better option to buy? Is it a villa or a row house or a luxury penthouse or duplex? What do you suggest?
I mean, honestly, this is a personal choice. So if you have to take my personal opinion, I'm an apartment guy because I believe in community living. Security, safety for children, for your family is also an important factor if you're spending 3 CR. So I think I would recommend an apartment. Just look at something which is within 6 to 8 kilometers of Bangalore, of MG Road. I mean, I call it CBD. Yeah. So probably I will recommend a villa. I'll recommend an apartment.
And his third query is like which are the projects you see, if we talk about 5 top projects, which are the projects you see that he should look into?
So I have a chance to promote my property. So I think you should Google 77 Town Center. It's a 72-acre township which is on Old Airport Road, and we have 3 properties there: 77 Place, 77 East, and 77 Sky. So as I have recommended apartments to you, please look at 77 Place. So this is a 30-acre residential township. Amazing place. I mean, just have a look at it. This is just 3 to 4 kilometers from Leela Palace, 5 kilometers from Indira Nagar, 8 kilometers from MG Road. So I think within your budget, you could pick up a 3 to 4 bedroom unit.
Right.
Google 77 Town Center. Apart from that, there are many properties in Bangalore. I mean, I need to understand the location. So there are properties which are available in north, in east, in south, in west. But given the infrastructure and the proximity to the IT companies, I would highly recommend East Bangalore.
Right, East Bangalore, right?
Yeah.
So you spoke about the security as well. When we talk about security, what do you think should be considered while buying a house? If somebody would like to buy a house and security is on mind, so what all things should be on the list according to you?
Security, I mean, if you look at a normal development, security has become a hygiene factor nowadays. So, I mean, we have gone a step further. We have done boom barriers, we have done access cards, we have done 24/7 patrolling, we have hooters. So these are the kind of things that you have to look at if you are considering security as your primary agenda.
But this comes with price. No, you're talking about this because when we talk about luxury market, right?
Yeah, I mean, even if you're looking at a smaller property which is within a 1 CR budget, I'm sure this is a hygiene factor. I mean, you'll have reasonable security within those complexes also. Bangalore as such is a very safe place. But having said that, nobody is compromising on security within the apartment complexes. So I think everybody is providing reasonable amount of security within these complexes.
There's a query from Singh. He's asking why. He's from Whitefield. He's saying which suburb in Bangalore is perfect choice for luxury property as of now. You just mentioned East Bangalore is a good suburb to go for. So can you just tell more about East Bangalore? What are the trends there? What kind of amenities in terms of water, in terms of power supply, how it is placed, and which are the localities, top 5 localities in this zone to look for?
So if you, I'll start with the locality towards East Bangalore. So you could look at Whitefield, you could look at Brookfield, you could look at Outer Ring Road towards Marthahalli, and you could go as far as Sarjapur Road. So there are enough properties within these locations ranging from 1.2 CR onwards. Now the problem is everybody calls their project as luxury projects. So I think when we started this conversation, so my definition is anything which is more than 2.5 to 3,000 square feet should qualify for a luxury project. So given these options, I think there are enough options within these locations. Infrastructure is good. I think probably within these locations, infrastructure is the best in Bangalore. Entertainment is not a problem. Schooling is not a problem. Education is not a problem. Water is not a problem. Electricity is the same across Bangalore, so I'll not comment on that. It is not different for any other location. So I think as far as suburbs are considered, I think East Bangalore is a good option to look at.
Right. So there's a user from Bangalore only. Her name is Tina Mathur. She's saying, is earning rental income is really difficult from the luxury project?
See, as I said, the traction in towards the East Bangalore area is really high. I mean, for that matter, traction in the entire city is really high. I mean, there are a lot of people who are migrating towards Bangalore. Every year, we are adding maybe 150 to 200,000 employees in the IT sector alone. So I think finding a rental in Bangalore is the easiest way around. So
right.
it also depends on the kind of property that you're picking up. So I'm looking at a property which is reasonably placed between 1.5 to 3 crores. You could easily get a rental of maybe 30 to 50,000 a month, or probably if I have to tell you the yield, you could look at maybe 3 to 4% rental yield, which is, I think, quite reasonable given the stable market prices in Bangalore.
Okay, so how's the rental market in Bangalore if we talk about? Do you think that it's pretty decent there?
Rental market is pretty decent. I think in Bangalore it's the easiest to find a rental.
Versus the sales, versus sale, if we talk about, rental is more smooth and easy market currently?
Rental is quite an easy market, and it's very easy to move a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom towards rentals. There are a lot of corporate honchos who are moving to Bangalore and picking up larger villas also towards rentals. The corporates like Wipro and Infosys and Oracle and Cisco, they are picking up apartments for their executives, and the rentals are really good. So I think it's a very good market for renting out properties. So see, I mean, if you're looking at a rental rental yield, you get around 3 to 4%. Plus you own the property. Plus your property is also appreciating per annum by 8 to 9%. Plus you are saving money on taxes because if you rent out your property, you can show your interest as a loss. So there are a lot of IT taxes that you save. So overall, I think it's a reasonable return of 10 to 11% per annum.
There's a query from a user. He's asking, in today's luxury market of Bangalore, what should be my minimum budget for a decent luxury property?
I think if you're looking at within city limits, probably 6 to 8 kilometers within the CBD limits, you could look at maybe 2.5 to 3 CR, or maybe I'll just bring it down to 2.2 to 3 CR. If you're ready to go towards the suburbs, and if you want to pick up a 3-bedroom, which is around 1,800 to 2,000 or 1,800 to 2,200 square feet, look at a budget of around 1.3 to 1.5 CR.
Okay, so when we talk about luxury market, who are the buyers? Can you just put some light on the profile of buyers who are buying in Bangalore? So
see, luxury, as I said, is a very subjective thing. It's been very vaguely defined in our industry. So if you personally ask me what is luxury, I'll probably want to pick up a villa which is 10 CR, or probably a sky villa which is 12 CR. If you look at Bombay, luxury is 40 to 50 CR. If you look at Gurgaon, it's 20 CR. So it's a very subjective thing to define luxury. It's very city specific. So I mean, if you're looking at something which is between 1.5 to 3 CR, so I think there are a lot of senior IT professionals, CEOs of smaller organizations, CXOs, SMEs and small entrepreneurs, doctors were picking up these properties. You go beyond that, you look at something which is 5 CR plus, and then there are a lot of people who are doing business, who are in the granite industry, marble industry, or probably very famous doctors or other entrepreneurs. So it's very subjective to define the clientele here, because the range is very wide. I mean, we're talking about 1.5 to 20, 30, 40 crores. I mean, if you look at Kingfisher Towers, I mean, it's a different thing altogether. So it's a little difficult to define. It's a little generic.
Okay, but when we talk about NRI share, what will it be if we talk about NRI buyers share in the buying?
I mean, I think in any city, luxury amounts to 4 to 5% of the total real estate portfolio, and I think NRIs contribute around 10 to 15% of that portfolio. So this goes for the luxury also, and this goes for other projects also. So overall traction of NRIs towards Bangalore would be around 15 to 20%, plus minus 10%.
Okay. Okay. There is another query from Gautami from Singapore. She's saying, I'm an NRI. Where in Bangalore should I should look to invest, keeping a horizon of 5 to 7 years. My budget is around 1.5 to 2 crore, and I am looking for a 3 BHK.
So if you can up your budget a bit, maybe when either 30 to 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs, I think you can get something which is within 6 to 8 kilometers of CBD. I keep insisting that because the traffic is really bad. So I mean, you need to have something which is closer to city, which is closer to. See, I mean, you need to pen down the requirements that you have. You know, your workplace, your child's school, your spouse's workplace. Your distance from the CBD, your distance from the entertainment centers, from metro station. So you can't have it all, but once you start zeroing down, I think you should look at the budget that you want to spend. So if you're looking at between 2 to 2.5 CR, I think you can pick up a 3-bedroom which is around 1800 to 2000 square feet within city limits. I think within 6 to 8 kilometers, and I think every year that property will give you a decent appreciation of 7 to 8%.
Okay, so when we talk about CBD areas, near CBD areas or within city limits, we have noticed a trend in Bombay and even in Delhi. The situation is actually getting really worse, and when we talk about traffic, parking space, and everything, you know, it's getting really congested everywhere. So what is the trend in Bangalore? Because I believe people are rather, you know, preferring in Delhi and in Mumbai, preferring to move towards the, you know, peripheral areas like in Delhi, NCR areas, you know, because of the traffic issues, because of the parking issues, because of the congested roads and infrastructure issues. So what is the trend in Bangalore?
So the answer is very simple. If you're ready to spend 4 hours a day on road, I mean, you could pick up a property anywhere. Then you could probably pick up something which is at 5,500 square feet. You want to travel towards Yelahanka or Devnalli towards the new airport, you could pick up a property for 4,500 square feet. And it's a decent property with all the hygiene amenities. You'll have a swimming pool, jacuzzi. I mean, you name it, you'll have it there. But it's a matter of traveling every day. It's a matter of spending 4 hours every day on road. Now, if you compare that with NCR or Faridabad or maybe Gurgaon, so at least you have the metro connectivity there. So you don't have to drive every day. Somebody else is, you know, riding the car for you. So that will take a while in Bangalore to happen. Traffic, I think, is the same in Bangalore. Even if you pick up something in heart of the city or probably in a suburb, I mean, it's the same. So I would still recommend that if you have the money, if you have the budget, look at something which is not as far as a suburb or probably a Hennur Road or a Devnalli or a Sarjapur. Look at something which is 6 to 8 kilometers.
So do you think that when metro will come, the situation on road will ease out?
Oh, things will improve. I mean, the things have improved towards South Bangalore. I mean, I have a property in North Bangalore, and I really regret not buying in South Bangalore because, you know, you could just pick up your bag, take the metro, and reach office in maybe 30 minutes. I take 2 hours to reach office. So things will improve. It will ease out, and I think eventually people will start using public transport. I remember those old Delhi days. It was not a status symbol to travel by metro. Now everybody wants to take a metro because it's the easiest way to commute. I just park my car, you know, near Gurgaon, and I take the metro, Ifko Chowk, and it's so easy in there now. So I think eventually that trend will also follow in Bangalore. Things are improving.
And also buying a property close to metro will also give a little boost to the cost as well. So which are the areas you recommend in Bangalore? You know, if you can just name top 5 areas in Bangalore which might just see a good boost up in prices as well once the metro in place in Bangalore.
So my top five takes, I mean, these are my personal favorites. So probably people could look at Hebbal. That's a good location that is growing. South Bangalore towards Kanakpura Road, good location. People could look at East Bangalore, Whitefield. So and probably something which is on the old airport road or on the old Madras road, because old Madras road is very close to the metro station. So now in all these locations, metro will come up eventually, but at this point of time, also the infrastructure is not bad. So I think these are the top five locations that I'll recommend.
There's a query from another user here, sir. He's asking, what are the new infrastructure development plans are getting executed by government in East Bangalore?
So East Bangalore, I mean, we have a lot of corridors which are coming up. To start with, I mean, the government is working on a lot of flyovers that will really ease the traffic. So traffic time currently is 1 hour. So they are trying to make it completely signal free now, because there were a couple of signals in the on the outer ring road also. So flyovers are coming up. If you see all the tech parks, they are expanding. You have RMGs, you have EcoSpace, EcoWorld, and Bagmane. So all these tech parks are also expanding. So I think the major infrastructure push in East Bangalore is metro and road infrastructure. If this thing is taken care of, I think it's probably one of the best locations in India to live in.
So how Divyasree Developers as a builder is contributing to the development of East Bangalore in terms of infrastructure and conveniences?
So I think we have done the largest, one of the largest tech parks in East Bangalore. It's around 2.3 million square feet. We have corporates like Thomson Reuters, we have Landmark Group, we have Titan, and we have more than 25,000 people working there. So I think we are contributing fairly well to the infrastructure.
Right. There's Sangeeta from, I don't know if you would like to take this up or not. Sangeeta, a user from our forum, has asked that she would like to know, have you taken all authority approvals, OC, CC certificate, and bank approvals for all your projects?
Yes, we have taken all the approvals. All the approvals are available, and if somebody is picking up a property from us, we'll be more than happy to share all the approvals. And I mean, we could put our lawyers onto their lawyers, and we can share all the approvals. OCs are generally obtained once the property is ready to move in, and unless you don't have the OC, nobody will give possession. So all the statutory approvals are taken care of. Rest assured.
Right. There's a query from a user. His name is Devu. He's saying, I'm working in the senior management level in an MNC. I shifted to India and I'm looking for an apartment for investment. I'm only interested in projects where the resident gentry is at the par, so that I can expand my social and professional network. Mm-hmm. So, which project and which area you would really suggest him?
So I'm glad I've been asked this question, so I can finally promote my project. So, sir, I request you to consider our township, 77 Town Center. Please Google 77 Town Center. It is on Old Airport Road. It is probably this is the only project which is within the city limits. It's the only villa project which is within the city limits. So we have around 30 acres of residential development, around 2.3 million square feet of commercial development, which is leased out to organizations like Thomson's and Titan and Landmark Group. More than 25,000 people are working there. So coming back to the question of professional networking, I think our properties are ranging from 2,000 square feet to 12,000 square feet. So, I mean, who's and who's of Bangalore is living in the villa project, and we have a Sky Villa project which is ranging from 6,000 to 7,500 square feet. So most of the corporate launches have bought properties there. So as far as professional networking is concerned, I think this property is as good as it could get. As far as social networking is concerned, I think we have 3 clubhouses, a cumulative area of 1 lakh square feet. We have 3.5 acres of open amenities, golf putting, we have beach volleyball. So I think we'll have a good platform to do social networking in this project. So I'll request you to visit 77 Town Center on Google, and we'll be glad to see you in our project.
What is the ROI expected once when it's towards the possession in your project?
Generally, what I've seen is a reasonable ROI in Bangalore is between 7 to 8%. But there is a very typical trend with these high-end properties. Once the possession is given, once the families start moving in, once the occupancy rate hits beyond 90%, these properties really appreciate well, because these are lifestyle properties. So there's a lot of value add in your daily lifestyle. People look up to these properties and they want to move into these properties. So I think beyond a point, these properties really start appreciating well.
Okay. I will just take up last 3 queries now, so then we'll take up your concluding remarks. We are just about to close now. So there's a query from Karan here. He's asking, is Marathali location a good location from an investment perspective? And what kind of return on investment can be expected by property seekers here?
So Marathali, as I said, is probably one of the best locations in Bangalore, given the infrastructure and the IT corridor and the proximity to almost the entire, all the basic amenities in and around that location. And I think you could look at a decent, moderate return of 7 to 8% per annum for next 4 to 5 years. And of course, that has to be topped up with the rentals also if you're looking at renting out those properties, which as I said, is fairly easy in that location.
Okay. There's a person who's asking that, is it a good time to invest in East Bangalore when we see that the markets in other cities are actually at a very slow pace? Is it a right time to invest here now?
So see, when I started this session, as I said, this is real estate is a very micro market driven kind of thing. So personally, if you ask me, is the market slow? I would probably say no, because the projects which I am handling, the market is not slow. So what I would recommend is, if you're going out, looking out for properties, don't go with a polarized view. Go with an open mind that, look, I have to look at a property. If you go with a polarized view that, look, the market is slow, you'll probably end up looking at a discounted property or a property which is running on schemes. So I want your purchase to be a project-driven purchase or a location-driven purchase or amenity-driven purchase, not a discount-driven purchase. So yes, coming back to your question, this is a good time to pick up a property, and as I've repeatedly said, I think you can get a moderate return of 7 to 8% on an investment per annum.
Okay. Okay. There's a last query I would like to ask you, sir. In East, can you just tell us what are the luxury property trends to watch out in third quarter of 2016 in Bangalore?
So if you look at the current market scenario of luxury properties, so I will only look at properties which are more than 3,000 square feet plus. So we have approximately 80 projects in town which are catering to this kind of properties, and I think the number of units that are available are around 8,000. The inventory hangover would be around 3,000 to 4,000 units. So I think in next 1 year or so we'll be done with this inventory. So I think there's no hard stop here. So I think in next 3 to 4 months you will see a couple of launches coming up in Bangalore toward this high-end luxury properties. So my personal opinion, given the inventory, the total inventory which is available, the number of developers that are catering to this kind of inventory, I think any time is a good time to invest in luxury property.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Pathania. The point taken that if you invest today in luxury property in Bangalore, the return on investment would be there close to 5 to 7% closely annually, as you said it. Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you, Pushpa. Over to you.
This Hangout session. I'm really thankful to our guest speaker for participating in this Hangout session. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this Hangout a great success. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Pathania. Thank you, Neha.
Thank you.
Thank you.